The third verse delivers the results of God's search. David writes, "Every one of them is gone back. They are altogether become filthy. There is none that doeth good, no, not one." Psalm 53, verse 3. This is the divine verdict on humanity. It condemns with comprehensive and absolute force. The phrase, "every one of them is gone back," describes a universal departure. The word translated "gone back" carries the idea of turning away or being disloyal. This is not a minor deviation. Adam walked with God in the garden, but he and his descendants fled from God's presence. God created man in his image, but man now bears the marks of rebellion. The next phrase intensifies the judgment. They are altogether become filthy. The word filthy refers to moral corruption. It describes something that has spoiled or become putrid. This is not surface-level contamination, but a corruption that penetrates to the innermost part. Man is not just stained, but saturated with sin. His nature is corrupt, and his will is bent toward evil. The word altogether leaves no room for righteousness. Humanity stands condemned. No culture escapes, and no individual rises above this condition. The corruption is total. The last declaration removes all doubt. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. God repeats the negative for emphasis. He does not find even a single person who meets his standard. The search that began in verse 2 concludes with a negative result. Not one person understands, and not one person does well. This verdict contradicts human opinion. Men point to acts of kindness and claim goodness. They compare themselves to others and declare themselves superior. They measure their deeds on a human scale and pronounce themselves acceptable. But God measures by a different standard. His standard is perfection. God's law demands complete obedience, and his holiness exposes every flaw. Paul quotes this very passage in Romans 3, verses 10 to 12, to establish the doctrine of universal sin. He uses it to prove that both Jews and Gentiles stand guilty before God. No one can claim innocence, and no one can boast of merit. This verse refutes the idea that man can earn salvation through works. It exposes the futility of self-righteousness. If there is none that doeth good, then no one can save himself. All have become filthy and need cleansing. If everyone has gone back, then everyone needs to be brought near to God. The verse also reveals the justice of God's wrath. God does not punish the innocent. His judgment falls on those who deserve it. Every person stands guilty, and every excuse has been removed. Yet this dark verdict serves a redemptive purpose. It destroys confidence in the flesh. When a man sees himself as God sees him, he stops defending himself and starts crying for mercy. He realizes he is filthy and seeks cleansing. This verse prepares the way for the gospel. It shows why Christ had to come to save us. It explains why the cross was necessary. If man could have saved himself, God would not have sent his Son. But because none does good, God provided righteousness as a gift.